All right, yesterday in the video we talked about making our op art design, primarily just drawing it out. And so we talked about starting with this line and then connecting all the dots that are on that line, and then making tubes and then ultimately outlining these with permanent marker. The goal before you begin painting is that you've got a variety of these tubes, all different shapes, maybe some of them even moving. But when you get to this point where you have everything outlined in permanent marker, it's time to paint and add color. So these are the watercolor crayons that we're going to be using. And at the end of class, we are going to have these in pretty good shape, meaning they should look like this. And I understand that they may get broken, but if they do, then make sure all your pieces are there. And so you can choose whatever colors you want, but we are going to keep each tube, like this would be an entire tube right here, it's going to be 2 to 3 colors. And we're going to alternate those colors. The thing I like about this is these are easy to clean up, they're easy to use, they're very vibrant, and we're also going to be using them to create dark on the edges and light as it comes up and around the tube. So let's begin. I'll go ahead and use the same colors I just had there. So I'm going to be using purple and the dark blue. So it doesn't take much of this color, and I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of, just going to kind of lightly apply a little bit on the left side of this tube and a little bit on the right side. You do not want to fill the entire area though, because this is going to turn into paint and it's going to move around. So I can also go ahead and apply my blue. Doesn't mean I'm going to paint them at the same time. I'm going to treat them as 2 separate sections, but it does come in a lot handier to just say, okay, I'm going to color every other one blue, every other one purple, and then I'll come back and liquefy them in a little bit. So we'll just do a couple of them here. Okay. Nice thing about this too is you can always come back and add more after it dries, but if you happen to color this entire thing in, it's still fixable, but it's going to take a lot more work. So you want to make sure, again, we're just applying it to the edges and then we use the paintbrush. So I'm going to start by just dipping my paintbrush in the water, and I'm going to go ahead and just take my paintbrush and basically just roll it around. I keep calling it wiggle, 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 because I'm just liquefying this on the edges, and then I'm just going to kind of swipe it up and around towards the center. And I can add a little more water just to get it lighter, or you may even want to keep a little paper towel handy and dab off a little bit and just have it fade towards the center. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until it turns into a liquid, and then it's going to fade to light, towards the center. You probably will want to just kind of make sure your brush is a little clean before you start your next color. So I'm going to go ahead and do the purple. I'm going to liquefy it, swipe it up towards the center, maybe even take some off on my paper towel and have it get lighter towards the center, and then start on the other side. Again, rinse it, swipe it on your paper towel, whichever, but have it get lighter towards the center. I'm repeating myself here, just really push the point. So as you can see, this will create the dark and light. Now if you decide to keep with the same color, okay, that you have on this entire tube, and you do it over here, that's fine. But you could also try 2 different colors if you wanted to. Like let's just say on this side I want to do, maybe I'm going to do some greens over here with a, I don't know, we'll try something kind of fun. Maybe we'll try a green and orange. Don't normally go together, but they could be kind of a fun combination. So I'm going to do the same thing, just liquefy them, swirl them up until they get lighter in the center, and we'll just keep moving along as we do that. The screen's really light. This might be a good time to talk about, okay, if you find you went too light, well, you can let it sit, and then you can come back and add a little more color to it the next day. So I cleaned my brush off on my paper towel, not that you saw it in the video, but I did before I switched from green to the orange. And again, Swipe and lighten as you go through the center of that. So this green and orange is going to go all the way from this side of the tube to this side of the tube and back. Now, from this point, I need to decide, am I going to have this one tube one color and this one tube one color and then like repeat, like maybe over here it would be violet, blue, that's up to you. Or you could switch with another set of colors over here. It's going to be completely up to you. Again, at the end of class, we want to make sure that our brush is clean. Your water is not going to be very dirty, so we could just kind of wash it out in here. We can pinch it. We can do the swipe test, and it should be good. Let's do that on the camera this time. Swipe test, and it should be good. All right. So our goal for today is to make sure that we get this drawn in permanent marker, and then hopefully you're all starting on your crayon watercolors as well. And that should be the end of the video.